Hello everybody and welcome back to IELTS Master. This is video number 35 and we are still exploring the skill of writing and in particular writing task 1. In the previous sections we were talking a lot about different trends, up and down, and then the proportion like in a pie chart, and then the processes, and then comparing data. Today we're going to move to something really interesting. Changes and locations, and we will be looking at some maps. Finding the way around? Do you ever get lost? Well, we're gonna find out. Let's see. In terms of contents, so of course, according to the title, right? We first talk about changes, and then we talk about locations. Change, location, very simple. Now, I want you to take a look at these two maps. We have two maps, the one on the left and the one on the right. Basically, these two maps show a change in a place from 1980 to 2005. Alright? Here, there are some changes in 2005. Things have changed. New buildings, some buildings have been demolished, new structures have been raised, new houses, something like that. Now, I want you to answer this very simple question. Were there more trees or fewer trees in 2005? Go. Well, very easy to see. Certainly there are fewer trees. We see lots of trees over here, right? And then trees over here, right? And then trees over here as well. But then when we come to 2005, there is only a few trees left near the park. Fewer trees. So noticing the changes is important when we're describing a map. What are the two biggest changes north of the river? What? Now this is the area north of the river. What are the two biggest changes? Well, I think the two biggest changes is there was a new stadium right here and the extended railway. I mean, the railway station goes further to the north. That's it. So those can be the two biggest changes. Move on. What is the most noticeable difference between the two maps? Well, what do you think? The most noticeable difference? Well, I think the most noticeable is the houses. So I think the houses are really noticeable. I mean, there are so many houses here, but then when you come to 2005, there are less houses and we only have some skyscrapers and things like that. Less house and less trees. Well, it's terrible, isn't it? But anyway, that's not for us to judge. We are only to describe the changes. And so in the IELTS, you will given a map from one time and another map in another period of time. See what the changes are. That's it. Now, when we are describing changes, we can use different structure. For example, I say there were spectacular changes in the area. If I don't want to say this, I can say the area was changed spectacularly. So I did a change from adjective and noun to a verb and adverb. Remember, this sounds familiar, right? We did this already in one of the previous videos. Now, spectacular changes, change spectacularly. I want you to apply this and rewrite these sentences. Go. Very simple. Now let's take a look. There were dramatic developments. So we're gonna say the town center was dramatically developed. Next, there was a complete transformation. So we say the neighborhood was transformed completely. Alright. Or we say there was a total reconstruction. It becomes the residential area was totally reconstructed. Very simple. From the noun, you change to the verb. And maybe from the verb, you switch back to the noun. Alright? So we can have a variety of structures in your writing, your task one. And it's crucial in scoring you higher marks. Alright? Now, when we're describing changes, there are some verbs that you might need to take into account. For example, the verb turn. We can say the block of flats was turned into a hotel, and here we use the passive voice. The block was turned because people turned it. You can also use the verb make way, and then you say the block of flats made way for a hotel. Here we use active voice because the block can actually make way for the hotel by itself. This is the action that it does after it was turned into a hotel, right? So when we are using verbs to describe changes, remember to decide when you need the passive voice and when you need the active voice. And with this knowledge, I want you to apply and determine with this verb, active or passive voice. Alright, here we go. Now the first one, the old houses knocked down. What do you think? The old houses were knocked down. People knocked it down, right? Like, knocked down. The factory was converted into an art gallery. So people converted, it cannot convert itself, but people converted. Undergo. Now the city center underwent a total transformation. You see, undergo is a verb, is an action that the city center can do by itself. It underwent a change. It underwent a transformation. Remember that? Lastly, what took place? So a number of spectacular changes took place, right? A number of spectacular changes took place. Now this is in the active voice. Passive voice, active voice, active voice. Try to determine which voice you need to use as you're describing changes. Now we're going to locations. Location is much easier, alright? Normally when we think about location, we think about the east, the north, the west, or the south. And this is the normal direction that will be available in your maps. For example, here you do have the symbol for the north. Now this is the north, so this is the east, this is the west, and this is the south. I want you to find me the location of the stadium. Where's the stadium? So the stadium is here on the map? Come on, we don't say so. We can say something like, the stadium is north of the river. Well, actually, the river is here. The river is here, and the stadium certainly is north of the river. Very simple. Of course, you can say it's east of the lake, or it's next to the petroleum. Well, that depends. Next, the skyscrapers. Find the skyscrapers. See that the skyscrapers are here. So I can say the skyscrapers are east of the factories. Well, I can say the factory is here. Alright, very simple. And next we have the lake is, find the lake. This is the lake. And where is the lake? I can say the lake is west of the stadium. So the stadium is right here, and this one is to the west of the stadium. Very simple. This is for location. And when you're describing location, remember to use the correct preposition. Do this in 15 seconds. Very simple. Now let's take a look at the answer. Number 1 must be in the town of Northgate. Number 2, surrounded by trees. Number 3, were built on the railway line. I think it's going to be beside the railway line. You cannot build something on the railway line. Next, it's located in the north, in the east, in the west, in the south. Next one, which ran from north to south. Okay, very easy, right? And so in this video we were talking about describing changes in the two maps, map A and map B, 1 year and another year. What are the changes? What was converted into what? What transformed into what? Was it a total reconstruction or was it a slight change? And then we talked about describing locations, east, west, north or south, using appropriate prepositions as well. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Review this one and then do all of the exercises that follow. I'm gonna see you in the next video to come. Bye for now.